Hi everyone. Well, it's been a very mild or even warm, really, October so far, and it looks like things are actually about to change. But before it does so, we've got another couple of days of quite warm or very mild weather, especially tomorrow with temperatures getting actually up into the 20s. So how much longer will it last? Well, we're about to explain to you, and why is it so warm? We're about to show it to you. So here's the latest synoptic chart showing the areas of high and low pressure, and you can actually see here the warmer air. As we move it forward one frame, you can see here over France and Spain and into Europe here, all this warm air. And if we overlay the wind arrows briefly, you can see at the moment today the winds are coming in more from the southwest, so it's not quite as mild today. But as we move into tomorrow, you can see that the winds come round into the south. Now as they come into the south, they pull up one last surge of really warm air from like I said before, France and Spain, and it brings it up across the English Channel here. But then as we move forwards beyond this, things actually start to change. So you can see we move through into Sunday, the winds come back round to the southwest a little bit more. And even though by Monday they briefly come back into the south with a little surge of warm air, after that, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it's much cooler. You can see by these cooler temperatures across us, these greens and yellows, that the temperature cools down quite a lot. And that's because the winds are coming in at this point from the west, and that's being driven by these big areas of low pressure up here in the North Atlantic. And that's going to bring a bit of a change in our weather, to bring in some cooler, fresher, perhaps some rain bands at time, and also a few showers for here and there. So yeah, so things are certainly looking like they will be changing to much cooler conditions as we move into next week. But while we're at it, we'll have a quick look at tomorrow to show you what exactly will be happening. So we start off with relatively cloudy conditions, perhaps even a little bit of patchy rain left over from the overnight period. But then as we move into the afternoon, you can see the skies brighten up somewhat. It's not going to be sunny across the island, but there will be some bright or sunny spells at times, along with some areas of cloud. Along the south and west and even the east coast here, with the winds coming off the sea, we're looking at temperatures around 18 degrees Celsius. Just inland, we're looking up to 20, maybe 21 degrees Celsius, especially across more northern parts of the island here. And when you see these sunny spells, and this combined with the temperatures and the relatively light winds that will be at least inland, it will feel very warm indeed. But remember, this will be the last real warm day, probably of 2022 really. From this point, it looks like things will be cooling down quite significantly, and becoming a lot more unsettled and a lot more seasonal as well. So before we finish up, we thought we'd have a quick run through of the weather patterns as we move into next week, with a little bit more detail. So this is the average wind strength, and you can see as we move through Monday and into Tuesday, the winds start to pick up, and it starts to get a lot windier, and like I mentioned before, with these west to southwesterly winds, it will be a lot cooler and a lot fresher. And these winds really, apart from the odd little break, they stay relatively fresh right through in towards next weekend, and possibly beyond, in fact. So we've got these little areas of low pressure moving through, with these big main driving areas of low pressure up here to the northwest, and these pretty strong winds of averaging 30-35 miles per hour. So we're going to be looking at 40 to 50 mile per hour gusts at times as we move through next week and into the following weekend. So we can also add in the rainfall maps with this as well, and this isn't going to be exact, but it will give a rough idea of how things are looking. And as we move through Monday and into Tuesday, we've got some quite heavy rain. In fact, that really goes on to Wednesday, with spells of rain and showers pushing across southern England. And even by Thursday, there's still some rain around. Although as we move in towards Friday, things are starting to look a little bit better. But then further bands of rain coming through in towards next weekend. So for those of you who are going to be getting involved in the Halloween festivities, it's looking a little bit iffy for the evening. So any of you lot who are going out taking kids out trick or treating, it's not looking great, to be totally honest with you. As we move in towards the evening, we see this large area of rain coming in from the southwest. We've got these south to southeasterly winds here, but it could be a bit of a borderline thing. So we'll skip back a few frames. We've got some rain that's likely to be affecting our area perhaps during the morning, a little bit at times. But then as we move into later on in the evening, we've got this large area of quite heavy rain moving through. But the timing of the arrival of this is going to be very difficult indeed to work out. It does look like perhaps arriving 8-9 p.m, but it may arrive a little bit earlier. But we will give you an update on that a little bit closer to the time. So there we have it, really. That's what's been happening and why it's been so mild, and how things are looking like changing as we move into the coming week. So yeah, pop back tomorrow and we'll give you a bit more on that Halloween trick-or-treating forecast, and hopefully things won't turn out too bad, but we'll let you know a little bit more about that tomorrow. Anyway, goodbye for now.